Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. For those who are new to my channel, welcome, good to have you. I hope you stick around. Consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified every time new content is released. I do a lot of reviews on luxury makeup and occasionally luxury skincare. Well, my eye is not fully recovered, so I can't put on any makeup, can't put on any contacts for now. But when I looked on my backlog of video ideas, one of the ones that have been long-standing is a makeup declutter. I am overdue for eyeshadow declutter, lipstick, foundation, blush, and highlight, so this is a great time to clear some of those videos out since I don't actually need to, or my face does not need to appear in the video to do any demos. And of course we can do swatches as we go along, on my hand, on my wrist. I have two baskets here of all of my eyeshadows, and this basket contains brands, all kinds of brands, from drugstore to high-end like Byredo, Suku, my beloved Viseart, and then this basket is mostly Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona. Depending on how we do with time, after we declutter both of these baskets, I might just put everything that's left after the declutter into the drawers and show you how I organize everything then, or we might move on to like another category like lipstick, for example. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Why don't we get started? Everything that is going to be decluttered, I'm actually placing it into another basket right next to this one. And I think the first thing you might notice is I have a lot of original boxes of makeup. And I really need to make a decision with this declutter if I'm going to keep all the boxes or I should, well, basically throw them away, declutter them. Sometimes there is a very legitimate reason to keeping the boxes because, as you can see, the names are actually printed. The names of the shadows are printed on the back of the boxes. Other times, there's probably no good reason other than it's just a quirk I have. I love keeping originals, even though it takes me more time to take the product out and to put it back in afterwards. I'm just kind of stubborn with that. Some of you have told me you are the same way, and if you are, please let me know. It makes me feel a little bit better. I've had my fair share of people making fun of me for that. But anyway, let's get to the first thing here. I have a Suku eyeshadow palette. This is from their holiday collection. These are beautiful. This is still fairly new, so I am keeping this. Next we have this Viseart. This is Viseart's latest palette, Soleil La Plage, mid-tone summer theme palette. I really love it. I just did a review video on this before taking a break because of my eye. And this is actually just the box. Maybe we'll find the palette in here somewhere. This is from Byredo, and it's really cute because it actually includes with their clamshell, oyster shell, or raindrop compact, if you will. They all come with this little pouch, so you can take it on the go with you without fearing that it might get all scratched up. There is probably no good reason for me to keep this box, so I'm gonna do something really brave and declutter the box. Wow, okay, that's a step in the right direction. Here we have another Byredo box. The palette's not in there, so I think I'll declutter this as well. This is a Makeup by Mario palette. This is the Metals palette. I believe it should be somewhere in here. So palette's not in the box again. I'm going to put the box aside. We'll probably declutter it. This is Viseart's Étendue Mincette palette, a very warm tone palette. It's lovely. And because the palette's actually in the box, let me show you. And look at the packaging. I love the Étendue palette packaging. Very warm tone, coppery reds and browns. So this, because the shadow names are printed on the back, I am definitely keeping the box and the palette as well. Here I have a ColourPop palette. These keep on selling out and coming back in stock off and on. This is the Cherish, their pressed powder palette. And the reason I purchased this is, well, the color story looks beautiful, but also I find that the format is quite similar to Natasha Denona. I've done one video where maybe it was Cherish, maybe it was another, I have two of these, but with one of them I did a comparison video with what I found closest to Natasha Denona's like mini eyeshadow or 5-pan eyeshadow palettes, and just did a video review based on that. I don't remember which one. I haven't tried yet, so I would still like to keep this for reference. I think it's always interesting to see what the drugstore brands are doing and how they might be comparable to a luxury brand. This is Viseart's Paris Love Letter Étendue palette, and the palette is in the box. Seems like I do a decent job putting palettes back into boxes when there's actually a good reason to keep the box. Such cute packaging. And then this is the color story. This is neither warm nor cool. I think there's some warm shades and some cool shades. It's their spring color story. Also really beautiful, soft color palette. Yeah, I really enjoy my Viseart palettes. This one is a keeper. Here's another Makeup by Mario palette. This is his Metallics palette. And the palette's actually in the box. This is really to me, like a fundamentals metallics palette. There are, you know, a whole spectrum of shades here: pinks, red, green, deep blue, copper, light shades. Some are more lid toppers, some are an all-over shade, so like your one and done. And what's interesting about the formulation of these shadows is they're not quite like any other metallics that I have. The shadows here are made in Italy, and I have a lot of eyeshadows that are made in Italy, but this formula stands out because it's quite different. They're smooth and soft, but they do take one, maybe two additional applications compared to some of the other Italy-made eyeshadows that I have, and it does not take away from the experience. They're just a little bit different. You might even say it adheres to your lids, or has like maybe better longevity in some instances. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping this palette, and you might be proud of me, I'm getting rid of the box. This is empty, so it's just the Suku box that actually goes with this eyeshadow palette. And I'm trying to see if there's a reason to keep the box here. It does have the name printed on the back, which the name and everything's printed on here as well, so I am actually decluttering this. This is another Suku eyeshadow palette. This is actually Suku's reformulated quad. The quad's not in here. Is it this one? Maybe it's this one. This is in the story Harugumo, which is 101 Harugumo is this one here. It's their spring release, a limited edition palette. And it doesn't seem like there's a reason for me to keep the box. Yeah, I'm decluttering this. Definitely keeping this compact. It is actually probably one of my favorite color stories of theirs from spring. Here's another Suku eyeshadow compact. The actual quad is not in there, so I'm just going to put it here for now. Moving on, here we have ColourPop times Sailor Moon collaboration. Those of you who have been following this channel, you know how much I just love. I just love this one. So cute. And these are beautiful, very easy to work with. I think it's such high quality, especially for the price you pay. If I remember correctly, I think this is $20, like maybe $18.99 or $19.98, something like that. I am keeping the box, even though the shadows, the names of them are printed on both the actual compact and the box. I'm keeping it for the design. Unfortunately, I already kind of have some product on there, but I am still keeping it. And this will always be a fantastic memento for collectors. And I am a collector of certain Sailor Moon products. Then we have this All Things Equinox palette. This, I believe, was sold exclusively at Ulta, and this was a gift. It's a really pretty palette. Really pretty palette. Look at all those mauves and purples, the shimmer shades. In terms of quality, I would say the Sailor Moon one is better. I find the shades easier to work with than this palette, but I do love it, and I thought it was such a sweet idea, a really sweet gift, so I am definitely keeping this. I'm also keeping the box as well, because I like this design. Then we have the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette. This was recommended to me by a viewer and I got it to review. I did enjoy the look I put together. I especially love the shade. And this is called Wild. Yes, this is called Wild. I do have a couple of other shades in my collection that are similar, but I am decluttering this even though I love the shade because I think you can kind of see this came shattered. And I have less and less ability to keep it just kind of in the pan without getting all over the place. Less and less every time I move the palette, so I'm actually decluttering this. It's making a mess. Then I have here the Makeup by Mario Metals palette. And I love these. These are fun, so fun to play with. We have the box on this side, but I am definitely keeping the palette. This here is a Makeup Forever kind of, you know, customizable, magnetic single eyeshadows compact. And these are, you know, whenever I bought these from Makeup Forever. So I think I am keeping all of this. Well, I'm definitely keeping the compact because I could actually put Viseart eyeshadows in here. Viseart eyeshadows are magnetized as well. You know, their Petite Pro line, their Petite Fool line, the Étendue line. Anyways, the recent palettes they've all released are magnetized, so I can actually put them in here. Next we have the Byredo Prismatic palette, and it's like a mirror, reflective like a mirror. Isn't it so beautiful if you're into colorful eyeshadows, or not? You might just enjoy looking at colorful things. I had so much fun playing with this palette. You know, I'm having second thoughts about keeping this box because it's so easy to get fingerprints. I might actually, and there's no pouch for it, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Maybe for just easy traveling, if I ever travel with this, it'd be good to have a box to protect it because the small compact has this, which is great. Actually, I am keeping the box for that reason. The next compact here is also from ColourPop, Mint to Be. It's so cute. And you'll see in a moment why I just love this compact, or love this color story. Look at all the greens. The look I created with this, I think I managed to use all 9 of the eyeshadows. You really couldn't tell I used 9. I might as well have used just 3. So the one thing about it is the shades just kind of start blending into each other. There's not that much distinction. I don't think it's meant for you to use like all 9 shades or even 6 shades, say, out of the 9 to create a look. But I still like the metallics here. I just haven't had a chance to go back in, or, you know, not quite in the mood to create just like a only green eyeshadow look. Might come back into here one day. I'm definitely interested in keeping this one along with the box because I seem to enjoy these ColourPop designs. So names of shadows are printed on the back as well. Then I have two Viseart Petite Pro palettes. Pans in here are all magnetized. This one is Solstice and this one is Soleil. Soleil is another summer palette by Viseart. And actually, was this released last year or the year before? Maybe the year before. Some of you guys have told me when you saw my video on the Soleil La Plage review, you guys thought that, you know, the shadows might be a little bit too light for your taste. If that is the case, I would consider the Soleil Petite Pro because the shadows are much more impactful, and it gives you many options for pops of color. This is a dual chrome here. You got a pop of color, any of these kind of reds here, pop of color, pop of color. You know, same thing with this. And what I didn't realize at the time is it's called Soleil with the inspiration of, you know, the sun. But the looks you can create can be sunset and sunrise like saffron shades. This one here, these two combined with this, it's gorgeous. Yeah, so maybe look into this one if you find that Soleil La Plage is a little bit too light, but you're still kind of in the mood for a summer palette by Viseart. I recommend Soleil, the Petite Pro. And then for Solstice, I also really enjoy this palette. It is so easy. It is fuss-free. And I'm really obsessed with the color of the palette too. I think it would look great on the cheeks, especially for deeper skin tone lovelies. And perhaps even like a lip gloss shade, lipstick even. It doesn't matter what you choose, just choose 2 shades, 3 shades, 4 shades, blend them in. It's gonna look great. This is an easy go-to kind of daytime work neutral look palette, and you can't create a look that isn't nice. I love this too. Next we have another ColourPop palette. This is Crush, and I purchased Crush and Cherish at the same time. Crush is actually not in here. I'm sure we'll find it in a sec. The color story is totally different from Cherish. It actually might be, maybe this is the one I did a video on. Maybe not. I don't see a reason to keep the box actually. Again, the shadows are printed on the back of the palette, and this design I'm not especially drawn to, so I am going to declutter this. Next is something from Westman Atelier. I got this during the Sephora sale. I'll be doing a Sephora haul video very soon here as I'm able to, and it is the iPods. Really cute here. They have a pouch for you to put these iPods in. Comes with 3 shades, and this is the color story Les Jours. And each one of them have like an embossing of a heart and the Westman Atelier logo, or it has the Westman Atelier name, and I suppose I guess it is the logo, yeah, or her signature. So there are 3 shades. This one we just saw is called Neige, and the one that was, I think this is the deepest, is Chocolat, and we looked at that first. And the last one here is Tabac. Lovely. I can't wait to try these. We will also do a near full face of Westman Atelier because I also got the foundation or foundation stick, also highlighter stick, and I also have their new squeaky clean lip glosses as well. So we can get pretty close to full face here. Very excited for these. You guys, I'm on a clean makeup kick, and I would prefer to wear all clean makeup for, you know, long hours at a time. Very excited. This is Charlotte Tilbury's Dazzling Diamond. This is a very, very lovely palette. One of my favorite looks I created last year was with this. Unfortunately, I think due to how sparkly the formula is, it irritates my eyes, and I have not used it since that 1 or 2 times that I've used it. I won't be decluttering this, but I'm keeping it for now. I actually have the exact same palette, brand new, that I will be putting into my giveaway very soon here as we reach 2,500 subscribers. Watch out for that video. I'll have more details. I'll show some of the items I have put aside and purchased for the giveaway. And then we have here, oh, so lovely, Surratt's lid lacquer. You know, the lid lacquers aren't exactly, they're very easy to use to put on. You guys, I kept the box, the sleeve, and the little paper. This is excessive, right? I can't help myself. This is in the shade Kogetcha. It is so pretty. And you can blend out. It's one and done. So easy to work with. And has that, it just gives you dimension. You know, even though it's just one shade, as you blend out and the pressure you use can give you dimension. So it might be a little bit, or deepest, right along your upper lash line, and then you blend out and it gets lighter and lighter. It will crease, so that's the part that I think, you know, I make some people not want to try this. Whenever it does crease, all you do is go back in and do that with a finger any time of the day, and I'll just take a tissue and dab it off, and you're good to go. So there's something that's so effortless and yet sophisticated about these little lacquers that makes me, you know, continue to talk about it and use it whenever I get a chance with much enthusiasm. And guys, I am not giving up this intricate packaging. For someone like me, it's part of the experience, so I'm keeping it just like this. Next I have some drugstore brand. Once again, this is e.l.f. This is their bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. We had a lot of fun with these. I think I created a look with every single one of these bite-sized palettes. There should actually be 1 or 2 more in here. One of them I shattered, so I actually tossed it. And now that I think about it, this here, this is called Berry Bad. The color payoff is just not there. The metallics are okay, but the light shade right here in this deep matte shade, just not easy to work with, not quality. So I think I might declutter this one. I do like this jalapeno palette, so I'm keeping this. I'm on the fence about this. This is kind of this is Truffles. It's kind of quintessential cool tone fall winter palette. You know, this silver shade here is actually quite beautiful. I think I will keep this. Oh, and then we have a ColourPop. This is called Jelly Much. They're kind of glitter pot eyeshadows. They're fun to work with. Look at that. It does fade though over time. The time that I worn this, that's what I've noticed. And I'm not ready to declutter it, but I don't know when I'll next use it. It doesn't have much of a scent to it. I think it's more of a kind of like a non-scented cosmetic scent. Yeah, I'm keeping this for reference whenever I do get kind of glitter pot eyeshadows to compare against. Then we have Charlotte Tilbury's Jewel Pot, I think this is called. She released 2 shades. This is in Pillow Talk. And has a very glittery finish. It's much lighter than next to the ColourPop Jelly Much. And this shade, by the way, is called She Grown. And I actually kept the box for it. The box I will declutter. Seems like we're on a roll with these pot cream eyeshadows. This, I just really wanted it when I saw the ad when this came out. So this is her Eyes to Mesmerize in the shade Rose Gold. And I just love it. It's one of those non-fussy shades. You kind of wear it all over the lid, or you could top it. You can use it to give some dimension. You can use like one eyeshadow that is deeper in shade and just add this blend out with a finger. Really easy. Definitely keeping this. Doesn't have a long shelf life though. It's only 6 months. I've definitely had this for over a year. I made some adjustments to the camera angle so we can get a better look at all the items. I have another Viseart palette here. This is the Étendue Violette palette. The palette is actually in the box, but as we have been doing with most Viseart palettes, let's take a look. Amazing packaging. Color story. Definitely a purple eyeshadow lover's dream. We'll be keeping this along with the box. And then we have 3 more Viseart palettes. I've had these the longest out of all my Viseart palettes. And I do believe when Viseart began selling on Sephora, these were primarily the palettes that were available on Sephora. These are also their professional palettes. They're really easy to take on the go for a pro, and you know, with the way, and this is broken unfortunately, but with the way they're designed, you can clearly see what's in the palette because it's clear. I absolutely love, this is 08 Editorial Brights, and I love this palette. Whenever I need to do a colorful look, I find myself coming into here, getting a blue, green, orange, pink, any of these to complete my look, or blend it in with another eyeshadow to, you know, turn it to a certain tone. And this palette has done such a fantastic job. I think I'm going to declutter the box, but keep the palette. This is another Pro palette here. I've had all these for some time. This is their Dark Mattes palette, and I think this orange is so lovely, yet I don't think I've used it quite as often as I'd hoped to. I believe these have hit hard pan. I don't know if you can see right here. I tried to dig into this maybe as recent as 3 months ago, and it was quite difficult to get like a good swatch or enough color payoff from what I get in the brush. So I'm actually going to declutter this. Maybe at some point in the future I will get another Dark Mattes palette. This is their neutral palette, and I've actually hit pan on this shade here. I definitely like to use a light shade as my base. It just depends. The eye primer I've been using, which is by NARS, is tinted, so I haven't found myself reaching for a light shade to use as a base for my eyeshadow looks. But back then, when my primer didn't have any particular, it wasn't tinted, I would tend to go in with this shade. A shade like this, depending on your skin tone, is also good as a highlight. If you want a matte look, I should say. If you want to stick with a very matte look because maybe you're doing photos on camera, filming, and you want to stick with a really matte look, this is excellent. It could also be used to clean up any fallout under the eyes as well. So very versatile, of course, depending on your skin tone. I want to keep it for reference, but I think if we're going to try to make a good effort with this decluttering, I think I will declutter this as well. One day we shall meet again. Neutral mattes, all my Dior eyeshadows. So I have accumulated a handful of them. We have 6 of them, and I have 1 more on the way. I will be keeping these in their original boxes because right here, I know they're not all facing the right direction, but right here it has printed what the quint is. So I have Golden Nights, and both Golden Nights, Black Night, and Golden Snow. This is from their holiday collection. I will be keeping these. Then I have Pink Sakura, which came out for their this year's spring collection. This is limited edition. The Golden Nights collection was also limited edition, but you can still get those at online retailers. I believe this is sold out, Pink Sakura. Then we have a kind of all year round staple. This is not limited edition. This is denim, which I will keep. And then their latest collection, summer collection, is Dune. This is Mirage and this is Dune. We can take a look at those. If you're interested in these, I do have dedicated review videos where I create a look with them. I find that these palettes are also, some of the shades are suitable to use as blush, as a bronzer, and a highlighter. I quite like this collection actually. Color payoff is actually very light compared to, you know, typical, the color story is available all year round. Let me take out denim here and show you. Like the two quints we saw from the summer collection, very light in comparison to what you would get from this. Something to note. But yes, go check out the Dune videos if you are interested. I have swatches and comparisons in all of them. This is just the box from House of Sillage, their makeup collection that was released at the end of March. Where's the palette? I think the palette will pop up eventually. Oh, there it is, at the bottom here. And isn't this cute? It's a Disney collaboration. This is the eyeshadow quint. It's so beautiful and so easy to use. The shades are also printed on the back of the compact as well as on the box. Because this is a collaboration, we have mini here, I am keeping this. These compacts from the makeup collection, I got some puppy hair here, does come with a really nice velour pouch. And so I will be keeping the box and keeping the compact in the velour pouch. This collection is still available if anybody is interested. You can order directly from House of Sillage website. This is Mickey, so you have Minnie and Mickey. How cute. How cute is that? And this is their face palette or complexion duo, which has a highlighter and a blush. Got the pouch again. I believe before we were looking at the other side, but on the other side of the pouch, you have the Disney times House of Sillage printed on there. Adorable. And this is really, really pretty. It's very unassuming, but it's a pretty universal shade. And that's the blush. This is the highlighter. Formula is great to work with. It's really soft. It's subtle, but it looks beautiful. I'll also be keeping all of this together. And then when I ordered, or when they ordered came, it had these two postcards, which I will be decluttering. Next we have another Suku eyeshadow quad. This is in the color story Akekage, and I believe I already mentioned this earlier in the video, but these were released early this year as part of their newly formulated quads. These are called Signature Eyes, or Signature Color Eyes. Oh, by the way, Akekage is not a limited edition color story. It will be available all year round, and they will continue to make it as they run out. So this is still available through major retailers online in the UK, like Selfridges, Cult Beauty, and Harrods. Another Suku quad. I believe we decluttered its box earlier. This is Hikari Gure. Such an easy to wear color story. I really do love this palette a lot. And I do have an affinity to bronzy gold shades. So pretty. Color payoff. And good news, this is not limited edition either. You can still purchase it. Right, I have Cherish here. Oh, I thought we looked at Cherish. What do I have in here? Oh, okay. Crush ended up being in Cherish's box. I will declutter this box, but this is Crush. We saw the box earlier right here. And I don't believe I've created a look using Crush. I will definitely be keeping this and giving it a try. Some more ColourPop. These two are from the Sailor Moon collaboration. I will be keeping them. I'll just show you one of the two. One is pink and the other is purple. This is glitter. You don't need glitter glue. It's all in there. And these are in the shapes of stars and I think circles and maybe moon. One of them has moons in them. It's really on theme, really cute. I'm keeping this from a collector's perspective. Oh, and then we have the Byredo Oyster Compact or Raindrop Compact. This is the Disco palette. Beautiful. I love this palette. All the shades are metallic. They're very easy to work with. I will most definitely take this while I travel. Then we have two more e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. Let's see here. We have, I think, Cream and Sugar. And then this is Pumpkin Spice or Pumpkin Pie. Pumpkin Pie is my favorite e.l.f. bite-sized palette. If you had to pick one, I would go for Pumpkin Pie. Great color payoff. The two matte shades, even the deeper one, works fairly well, fairly easy to work with, good color payoff. It's kind of on a whole level of its own compared to the other bite-sized palettes. Like I think if I had to rank these, it'd be Pumpkin Pie, followed by Jalapeno, and then perhaps Truffle. I am decluttering this Cream and Sugar palette. I think like the Berry Bad one, it's just the payoff doesn't work for me. And I will keep these three. Actually, you know what? I'm going to declutter Truffles as well. I'm going to keep these two. All right, we're down to our last Viseart palette. Yes, at least in this basket. This is from the Petite Pro line, and this is Midsummer. Midsummer and Solstice came out at the same time, and I love both of the colors of the compact. Like, I think this is also a suitable cheek shade, but definitely a lipstick shade or a lip gloss shade. Mauves and taupes, very easy to wear, very beautiful. I love using this shade as blush. It's always worked out. You know, when I have like a pinky look or somewhat kind of purpley neutral look. Beautiful. We have another Surratt product here. This is their Visual Eyes line. What it is, it has powdered eyeshadow, and then at the top, you have to twist it off, is actually a cream shadow. Unlike the lid lacquer, I have another lid lacquer here, but unlike the lid lacquer, this does not crease, or very, very little, and only as you wear it right up until the end of the day. What I do with it is put the cream shadow, actually, let me demonstrate. And then you can see the transformation of that. It's beautiful. I do really enjoy Surratt products. I think there is a certain level of innovation or product design that we don't commonly see with other brands. Another lid lacquer. This is in the shade Hadaka. and it is a nude shade. It is wonderful. It is also one and done. Look at this. I think everybody would be into this if it did not crease at all. So it's fairly emollient. As you can see, it's very easy to move across and it never dries down. It does not bother my eyes, but as a result of never drying down, it does crease. Very easy to fix. I mentioned this when we looked at the other shade, Kogetcha. All you do is just put a finger and blend it back in and you're good. So I really enjoy these. I wish they didn't crease so that more people, you know, wouldn't be put off by them. But if you think that is okay with you, it doesn't bother you, I highly, highly recommend these lid lacquers. And I am just somehow adamant in keeping all the components of the packaging. And then let's get through all the Surratt products while we're at it. Last summer I had a Surratt haul where I purchased their foundation and different eyeshadows, and I think a lip sleek, so a lip product to try. This is a single eyeshadow because I wanted to try the formulas. This is beautiful. This is Chat Noir. No, this is Chocolat Noir. Isn't that beautiful? They have a fine powder texture to them, but just look at the color payoff and how easy it is to blend. And I love that. It's like a chocolatey black, exactly as the name implies. Beautiful. And I'm keeping the packaging. Might be easier eventually if I were to get a compact from them. I can actually put that shade in there along with a couple of others. Until then, I'm keeping the box. But I will be willing to part with it once I have a compact. I believe I'm keeping everything in the box because there's actually two parts to it. There's the spatula, and this is the dropper. So it has the mixing medium in it. This was released for the Metals palette. You put a drop of this onto any of the Metals eyeshadow, it turns into this molten texture. And you kind of get like a molten finish too, so it just amps up the metallic eyeshadow quality. Spatula is good for like taking a little bit of product out from the Metals compact, putting it into the mixing tray. The mixing tray was not on the compact when we saw it earlier, but it's what it's designed for, so you don't have to like put the mixing medium on top of the eyeshadows in the pan. I'm keeping this in the box. Then I have here Yves Saint Laurent palette. Really want to try their eyeshadows. This is a beautiful color story. Don't hear nearly enough people talk about YSL makeup. Lip products, sure, makeup or eyeshadows, not so much, but this is a beautiful color story. I absolutely love the look I created. My only kind of, I guess, complaint, if you will, my only hesitation is the shadows are on the powdery side. Does not make it difficult to work with. No issues with payoff or blending at all. In fact, I really, really like this silver shade. It just gets messy on the pan. And then because of the way these shadows are placed, it's easy to bleed into each other. And they're quite small too, the pans. So that's my only hesitation there. I will be keeping this because I think the silver itself, to me, is a good reference and comparison to have, whether I'm going to use this to create another look or not. But I did enjoy this when I tried it out. This is from Chanel. This is their eyeshadow quad they released as part of like early spring collection, I think they called it. And this is 374 Allure et Éclat. These light shades here are really too light for me. This might be a good inner corner brow bone highlight, same with this. But these two shades are really beautiful. Got that plum shade here, kind of like a silky. It's light but very buildable. It's typical good Chanel quality. And this shade here, really pretty. I use this with the, you see that? Yeah, I love the two, or putting the two like overlapping slightly on top of each other so you get some dimension. When I created a look using the shadows in here, I used also their, was it the Stilo Ombre? But basically the Stilo was similar to this shade, but more brown. It went fantastically with this palette. So while there are 2 out of the 4 shades are just way too light for me, they're limited to being highlights or brow bone shades or inner corner. I still enjoy this palette. I'm keeping it. The next, I hope this comes back in stock in due time. This is the Burberry Runway palette. It's beautiful. Warm tones. It's a lot more red in the browns than I realized just by looking at the palette. So this red shade here down the center is really anchors it. It kind of sets the tone, literally, because the browns have like a red undertone to it. The shadow names are printed on the back of the box as well as the back of the palette. I think I am keeping the box for now, just because it's very easy to get fingerprints on the compact itself. I certainly hope it does come back in stock. Now, if you don't want to wait, or you don't think you're going to be missing too much if you don't have all 9 shades, I would consider the Byredo Disco palette. If you watch my Burberry palette video, the review on this, I do have comparisons again, Disco. 3 of the 5 shades on Disco, you can find similar, not quite dupes, very, very similar shades from the Burberry palette. So you might want to look into this if you don't want to wait for the restock. We don't have a timeline on when that's going to happen, but I do think they're making it. Then I have my Tom Ford eyeshadow quad, and I thought about, purchasing some of the color stories released, back in 2019, early 2020, but they're actually coming out with what looks to be several Summer Soleil collection colorful quads. So that's what made me hesitate in getting more, because I really want to see what those quads are like, and definitely get possibly 3 to 4. It looks like there's more than 3 different color stories. I absolutely love the wet dry formula, and it looks like the Summer Soleil collection, most if not all of them, are wet dry formula as well. This is from their winter collection last year, First Frost, and it comes with like I guess a snow white or an off-white pouch. First Frost is beautiful. And I decided to keep the box because it's golden and it's different from everything else. I did not keep, as you can see, the boxes for like the regular compacts that were not part of any seasonal collection. This is this is Meteoric. It was released alongside Visionaire, another quad. It was the first time I tried their matte formula and the glitter formula. These are more lid toppers than anything else. While I enjoyed this, and I did create looks I liked, I think I prefer the wet dry formulas. And then this was released also last year in the fall. It's their Extreme Eye Quad, although formula-wise, I'm not sure there was that much of a difference, or there is that much of a difference from their wet dry formula. The color story is called Mercurial, and many of us have found that between like Nude Dip, Honeymoon, and another existing Tom Ford quad, you can basically assemble all the shades together. So if you have 2 out of the 3 of those like non-limited edition, non-seasonal quads. I don't think you need mercurial. But if this color, if you don't have those other quads and this speaks to you, I actually do really like it. It's basically the wet dry formula. At least I'm not really sure how to tell the difference in my comparison. I have a review video of this if you're interested as well. And I am keeping the box because it's silver and it's different. Maybe one day I will declutter the boxes as well. I'm keeping them for now. Okay, so let me put everything from here back into the basket. We will organize and put them into the drawers later.